Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight up. Stop being nice to men who don't deserve it. You hear me? Stop it. See, some of you are giving away all your kindness, your time, your love, your patience to a man who has not earned it. That's like writing a blank check to somebody who doesn't even have a bank account. You can't get a return on that. A man respects what he has to earn. And that truth is as old as time. When something comes easy, human nature is to take it for granted. And men are no different. Think about it for a second. When you buy something with your hard-earned money, you treat it differently. You take care of it, you make sure it doesn't break, and you value it because you know the work it costs you to get it. But when somebody gives you the same thing for free, you toss it around, you don't guard it as closely, and you don't see its true worth. Relationships work the exact same way. If a man doesn't have to put in effort, sacrifice, or dedication to win your heart, he is going to treat it like it's disposable. Some women believe being endlessly nice is the way to win a man over. But niceness without boundaries sends the wrong message. It tells him he doesn't need to show up for you in a meaningful way because you're already giving him everything without requiring anything in return. That's not love. That's a giveaway. Men chase value. Men admire strength. Men commit to what they believe is rare and worth the work. And if all you're doing is lowering your standards to make him comfortable, you're robbing yourself of the very respect you deserve. When a man has to earn your trust, he learns to handle it with care. When a man has to prove his intentions, he takes the commitment more seriously. When he knows you don't just hand your heart to anyone, he begins to see that having a place in your life is a privilege, not a guarantee. That's when he starts to rise to the challenge. That's when he gives more, works harder, and starts valuing you as the prize that you are. The truth is, anything earned has weight. That's why a college degree feels different than watching a YouTube video. That's why a paycheck feels better than free money. That's why a man who worked for your love will treat it differently than a man who just stumbled into it without effort. And too often, women believe being extra nice will make a man stay, but it doesn't. What makes him stay is knowing that walking away from you means losing something he may never find again. Let me tell you, respect grows in the struggle. If a man had to call, pursue, show consistency, display honesty, and sacrifice his comfort just to win a place in your life, then he knows you're valuable. But if you gave him all your love on day one with no requirements, then he'll keep treating you like an option because you made yourself one. Men respect challenge. Men respect standards. And men respect the work it takes to earn you. Stop mistaking attention for intention because the two are not the same, and that's where so many people get it twisted. A man can give you all the attention in the world without ever planning to build a future with you. He can call you, text you, check in on you, and even spend time with you, but none of that means he truly intends to invest in you. Attention can be shallow, it can be temporary, it can be just enough to keep you hanging on. But intention has depth. Intention shows up in action, in consistency, in sacrifice, and in planning. When a man has intentions, you don't have to wonder where you stand because he makes it clear through how he moves. The problem is that a lot of women confuse those good morning texts, those late night calls, or those social media likes as signs of commitment, when really they're just crumbs of attention. Anybody can do that. Anybody can send a message or call when they're bored. It doesn't take effort, it doesn't require a plan, and it doesn't prove devotion. But when you mistake those crumbs for the whole meal, you end up staying in a situation where you're giving more than you're getting, hoping that attention will eventually turn into intention. It rarely does. See, a man with real intention is thinking about more than the moment. He's asking himself, where's this going? How can I step up for her? How do I make sure she knows she matters to me? He's not just present when it's convenient. He's present when it's difficult. He's not just showing up when he wants something. He's showing up because he knows consistency is the only way to prove sincerity. Attention is about now, but intention is about tomorrow. If all he's offering is now, you're dealing with intention, not intention. When you allow yourself to be fooled by attention, you're giving away your time to someone who isn't serious. That's dangerous, because time is the one thing you can't get back. And if you keep letting men string you along with surface level gestures, you'll wake up months or years later realizing that all you ever got was attention, but never real commitment. You deserve a man who has vision, not just entertainment. You deserve a man who builds, not one who distracts. Let's be real, attention feels good. It feels nice to have someone call you pretty, ask how your day was, or show interest when you're lonely. But if that attention isn't backed by purpose, it's empty. It's like drinking salt water when you're thirsty. It might feel like it quenches you for a second, but it will leave you drier than before. Intention, on the other hand, is like fresh water. It nourishes, it sustains, it proves itself over time. A man with intention doesn't just want access to you, he wants a future with you. That's why you've got to stop being impressed by attention alone. Start holding out for the man who shows up with a plan, with consistency, and with honesty. Because attention might make you feel good in the moment, but only intention will give you something real. Protect your standards, because the moment you let them slip, you send a message that your values don't matter. Standards are not about being picky or difficult. They are about honoring yourself and making sure the way you are treated aligns with your worth. Too many people lower the bar when they meet someone who excites them, someone who looks good, or someone who gives them a little bit of attention. But when you drop your standards just to keep a man around, you are showing him that all it takes to have you is the bare minimum. And if you accept the bare minimum, that's exactly what you'll keep getting. Your standards are the guardrails for your peace, your happiness, and your future. If you say you want loyalty, then you cannot keep entertaining someone who shows dishonesty. If you say you want consistency, then stop making excuses for a man who disappears and reappears when it's convenient. If you say you want love, then don't let lust disguise itself as the real thing. Protecting your standards is not about building walls to keep people out. It's about setting boundaries that keep your heart safe and your life aligned with what you deserve. The truth is, people treat you according to what you accept. When you allow someone to disrespect you, ignore you, or half commit to you, you're telling them that this is okay. And once they know you'll tolerate it, they have no reason to change. But when you stand firm and say, this doesn't meet my standards, you show strength. You show that you respect yourself too much to settle. And that energy attracts the right kind of partner. Someone who sees your standards as a challenge to rise to, not a rule to break. A lot of women are afraid that if they hold on to their standards, they'll scare men away. But let me tell you something. The wrong man will leave her, but the right man will rise. If a man runs because you require honesty, faithfulness, or effort, then he was never meant for you anyway. Your standards don't chase away good men. They reveal the ones who aren't serious. And isn't that what you want, to know early on who's worth your time and who's not? No. Protecting your standards also means protecting your future. Because every time you compromise on something important, you're setting yourself up for long-term disappointment. It might feel easier to let things slide in a moment, but eventually those small compromises add up and turn into big regrets. If you said you want a man who communicates openly, don't settle for someone who shuts down. If you said you want a man with ambition, don't accept someone who's content with excuses. Protect what you want, because that's the only way you'll actually receive it. At the end of the day, your standards are like a filter. They keep out the ones who aren't serious, who aren't ready, who aren't capable, and they let through the one who truly sees your worth. Protecting them isn't selfish, it's necessary. Because when you stand by your standards, you protect not just your heart, but also your future happiness. You teach people how to treat you every single day, whether you realize it or not. The way you respond, the things you accept, and the boundaries you set all tell a man what he can and cannot do in your life. If you allow disrespect and stay silent, you're teaching him that your feelings don't need to be considered. If you reward inconsistency with forgiveness every time, you're teaching him that he can come and go whenever he pleases. If you accept less than effort, you're teaching him that you'll settle for scraps. What you allow, you encourage. And that's why it is so important to understand that you hold the power in shaping how you're treated. Many women think that if they just keep being nice, patient, and understanding, eventually a man will change and appreciate them. But here's the truth. Why would he change if he doesn't have to? If you're already giving him love, attention, loyalty, and care without him stepping up, then from his perspective, he's winning. He's getting all the benefits without any responsibility. That's not teaching him to value you. That's teaching him to use you. The moment you stop allowing excuses, stop tolerating disrespect, and stop rewarding inconsistency, you send a message that says, if you want to be here, you need to come correct. Think about children for a second. If a child throws a tantrum and the parent gives them candy to make them quiet, the child learns that tantrums equal candy. They'll do it again and again because they know it works. Adults aren't that different. When you keep rewarding bad behavior with your presence, with your patience, or with your forgiveness, you're training a man to give you more of the same. But when you show him that access to you requires respect, effort, and honesty, you're training him to rise to your standards or lose his place in your life. Teaching people how to treat you isn't just about saying what you want. It's about enforcing it. Boundaries don't mean much if you don't stand behind them. If you tell a man, I don't tolerate lies, but then keep staying after he lies, you've taught him that lying comes with no consequences. If you say, I want consistency, but then keep answering the phone after he ghosts you for days, you've taught him that disappearing is acceptable. Every action or inaction sends a message, and men pay attention to that. The beautiful thing is when you start demanding respect through your actions, the wrong man will fall away, but the right man will step up. Because the right man wants to know how to treat you. He wants to understand your needs. He wants to give you peace, not problems. But he can't do that if you don't clearly teach him what is and isn't acceptable. You are the one setting the standard for how people handle your heart, your time, and your energy. And if you want to be valued, it starts with valuing yourself enough to stop teaching people that mistreatment is okay. Your time is precious, and once it's gone, you will never get it back. That's why you have to be extremely careful about who you give it to, because the wrong person can waste years of your life and leave you with nothing to show for it. Time is more valuable than money, more valuable than possessions, more valuable than anything you can touch, because you can't replace it. You can earn more money, you can buy new things, but you cannot rewind the clock. Every minute you spend with someone who is not serious, not invested, and not building with you is a minute stolen from your future. That's why you can't keep giving your time to men who don't deserve it. When you entertain a man who isn't committed, you are paying the highest price there is, your days, your months, your years. And often, you don't realize how much you've lost until it's too late. You wake up one day and see that you spent months hoping he would change, years waiting for him to choose you, endless nights convincing yourself his excuses made sense. But all that time could have been poured into yourself, into your dreams, into the right relationship with someone who actually wanted to grow with you. The cost of wasted time is regret And regret is one of the heaviest burdens a person can carry. Some people treat time like it's unlimited, like they can just keep giving it away to anyone. But the truth is, none of us know how much we really have. Every day matters. Every season of your life matters. And if you let the wrong man occupy years of it, you don't just lose time, you lose opportunities, you lose growth, you lose the chance to build something real with someone better. A man who truly values you will never waste your time because he understands its importance. He'll move with clarity, he'll move with purpose, and he'll show you through his actions that he wants to invest his time right alongside yours. Time is also the greatest test of truth. Anybody can say the right words in the moment, but consistency over time reveals whether those words mean anything. If a man says he cares but shows no growth after months, he's wasting your time. If he says he's serious but never makes plans for the future, he's wasting your time. If he says he loves you but never shows it in ways that matter, he's wasting your time. And the more time you allow him to waste, the less time you have to give to someone who is genuine. You have to treat your time like treasure. Protect it, guard it, and only share with people who add value to your life. The wrong man will drain it. The right man will multiply it. Don't spend years waiting for someone who has already shown you they don't intend to give you anything real. Because while you're waiting, time keeps ticking and it never comes back. Know your worth and add tax, because the truth is, too many people settle for less than they deserve simply because they don't realize how valuable they are. You are not just ordinary, you are rare. You are not just another option, you are the prize. And the moment you start treating yourself like you're priceless, you set the tone for how everyone else treats you. Men especially respond to the way you carry yourself. If you walk around acting like you're disposable, someone will treat you that way. But when you stand tall and refuse to lower your value, you force people to meet you at the level you deserve. Knowing your worth starts with recognizing what you bring to the table. You are not just looks, not just charm, not just someone to keep a man company. You bring intelligence, strength, support, love, encouragement, and ability to build a home, a future, and a partnership. That is priceless. But if you don't know that, you'll end up begging for attention, waiting for scraps, and settling for half love when you were built for the real thing. When you add tax, you're saying not only am I valuable, but I require even more respect than you thought, because my worth is greater than you imagine. That extra tax is the standard, the boundaries, and the non-negotiables that separate you from everyone else. Some women confuse knowing their worth with being arrogant, but they are not the same thing. Arrogance is thinking you're better than everyone else. Knowing your worth is understanding that no one else is better at being you. There's only one of you in the entire world, and that uniqueness alone makes you valuable. When a man sees that you know who you are and you refuse to settle, he realizes he can't play games with you. He has to step up or step out. That's the power of adding text. You make it clear that not just anyone gets access to your time, your love, or your energy. The problem comes when you forget your worth and start giving discounts. Every time you stay in a relationship where you're not respected, you're given a discount. Every time you accept less than honesty, you're given a discount. Every time you forgive the same behavior over and over without change, you're given a discount. And once people know you'll lower your price, they'll never pay full value. That's why you can't compromise your standards just to keep someone around, because the man who really sees your worth won't ask you to lower anything. He'll rise to meet it. Adding tax also means protecting your peace. Your peace is part of your value. If being with someone constantly stresses you out, breaks you down, or makes you question yourself, then they are robbing you of what makes you shine. Knowing your worth means you will walk away from anyone who threatens your peace because you understand that you deserve happiness, not chaos. A woman who knows her worth doesn't chase love, she attracts it. She doesn't beg for respect, she commands it. And she doesn't cry over men who can't see her value because she knows their blindness doesn't diminish her brilliance. When you finally embrace your worth and add text, you stop competing for attention, you stop begging for love, and you stop accepting less. You start carrying yourself differently, speaking differently, and moving differently. And the right man will recognize it instantly because real men know that a woman who knows her worth is not to be played with. She's to be cherished. That's the difference between just existing in a relationship and thriving in one.